I really think that's one specialist that's going to shoot him because, like I said, he likes to go into this hardpoint and be the difference maker, get those 2 piece, those 3 piece, to break the hill and allow his team to score the point. So I like this use. We see the players using the AR, picking that side, very expected, very usual. It's going to be Barca and Benz. Benz is going to be playing under the EGL events 001 account. Don't worry, this is Splyce Benz, in case you didn't notice. On the other end, we obviously have Kiwi, Gunley. So we have 2 Kiwi accounts. So which one is the real Kiwi, Trout?
Oh, interesting. I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to...
Well, I'm going to have to pick the one that picks kinetic armor, I think, because I actually think I've seen the real Kiwi use kinetic armor more. So I'm not sure. But it would be interesting to find out. And I'm sure someone will drop us that info very shortly. However, we're going to get into that first game, Trout.
So this is Splyce versus FAB. Fringe Hardpoint is the first map in this best of 3. Round 2 game in Group D. 250 points is the score limit. A 5-minute time limit and no respawn delay in this one. And this obviously being a Call of Duty World League Challenge Division sponsored event by PlayStation 4. So these points for teams like FAB, for like Tempo, are very important. They want to get everything they can out of this event to try and get them into that relegation playoff spot to be going into the Season 2 of the World League for Call of Duty. We're going to get underway here between Splyce and FAB, and we're going to be jumping on board with the imposter Kiwi, or is it the real Kiwi?
It's the real one for sure, because the other one is using an AR, so we're on board with Kiwi, with that kinetic armor, going to jump straight into the hardpoint, as you would expect, but going to drop down. Splyce doing a good job straight away.
Here we are. It's going to be Splyce in control of the hardpoint. Obviously, this is just about getting that scrap time and holding the spawns going into the next set of hills, which can be really hard to contest. And it looks like Vortex is heating up very quickly on, gets 2 kills. Josh also using the AR to start things off in this game. Here we go. Bant obviously going to be holding down this L for his team as he moves forward, trying to push out the barn, see if he can get hold of the spawns. One man is going to be picked off. It is going to be Kiwi, and he's going to push through to hardware. Does jump, and Hurdle is taken down by Barca in the end. Nice start for Splyce, moving into the last 10 seconds of this first hill, looking for the junkyard.
Yep, and I really like what Splyce have been doing on that first hill, really looking for the trade. They had the initial control, and then they knew everything they had to do was a trade. And you see them attacking that second hill. They're going to move towards keeping those third hill spawns. So right now, they are in control of the second hill, but they're also in control of the spawns for the next hill. So they are in a perfect position. FABE are going to need to do some work to first break into the hill, but also prepare that third hill. That's one of the easiest to hold, in my opinion.
So FAB looking for the spawns at the back of this farmhouse. Gunley is going to run off the wall and just check to see what's down that alleyway. It's going to be Vortex who gets the VMP kill. I'm not sure if he knows he's there. He does go for the challenge, gets 1 kill. Moving into the hardpoint. Here's Bant looking behind the corner. Hawkey gets 2 kills of his own for his team as Barca manages to get another kill. Hawkey does take him down in the end, and Bant is going to be moving for this back train spawn. Now, he pushes through the silos. Gunley and Barca in the back. He gets 1 kill on Barca. Kiwi takes him down in the end.
That was big for FAB because they got control of the spawns for that third deal, so they're going to have initial control. And as well, Benz on that second deal, missing those shots was very crucial because he was so close of getting his lightning strike, which would have helped break into that third deal. And he's not going to be able to do so. Once again, looking for those spawns, but Barca is going to stop him. We see the FABE players trying to mount a comeback, but so far it's been all Splyce. 70 and 35 is your current score.
Josh breaks into the hill with the MR6. Kiwi takes him down as well as Barca trading away. Kiwi gets another kill. He is on a 2-kill streak. Goes for the third. Gets another one with that kinetic armor. They are going to be spawning on the junkyard, and here they come. Not looking to rotate round. He challenges for another kill. Well done by him. 4-kill streak. He's very short on that lightning strike. Got to try and stay alive right now. Someone's going to push through the window. It is going to be taken out by FAB, and they're starting to get back in this. They made a great rotation onto this money hill, and they're going to level things up as Kiwi is just staying inside the hill, wrapping up the scrap time as he tries to keep this streak alive.
Well, really good job out of Kiwi. He's maybe going to find a fifth kill. Now he's 50 points away from his lightning strike. He's been doing amazing work on that third hill. Going to move on to the fourth, and he shouldn't rush that much. He should really be trying
there
to...
you go.
Oh, he actually played for the 200 points when you unlock that Hardpoint, and he's going to unlock 2 of his tricks, not going to be able to make the Phantom. But like you said, FABE back into that game after a great third hill, making that rotation. And Kiwi, once again, I told you he's the player to watch. He's going to be the one that's going to be the difference maker inside the hill. And once more, he's going to be looking for more.
Kiwi going to push from the junkyard with his team as Splyce have pushed out the spawns, got control of that entire train Hardpoint. Seeing teams making much more of a better effort in holding down this hill. Here comes Kiwi lighting things up with those kill streaks still in hand when he needs to use them. Obviously going to save them on this Hardpoint, not going to get a lot out of them. Moving probably towards the junkyard before we start seeing those, Jonas.
Yep, and look at Vortex. Everything's going wrong for him so far, going 5 and 16. Definitely not something we expect out of one of this Splyce player, and maybe one of the reasons this game is so close right now. We were talking about the fact we think that you know, Splyce should be taking this first map, but yeah, Vortex is really struggling right now. And at the same time, please do not pay attention to the Splyce and FABE name on the right because they are inverted. Of course, Gunly, Kiwi, Barca are playing under the FABE lineup, whereas on the other end, we've got Bent, Josh, Vortex, and Oki inside the Splyce lineup.
Here comes Vortex. Vortex taking it down again. Vortex, he just needs to slow things down if I was him, Jonas, and just think a bit more clearly about what he's doing because he's running into the hill and it's clearly not working out for him. 7 and 18 right now. It's not what we're quite used to seeing from Vortex. Does get 1 kill and it's traded away immediately as the junkyard is going to be the priority for both teams. They want to take control of this, and 2 players have actually completely missed each other inside that tin area. Kiwi does get the kill on Vortex. It's obviously going to alert the man in the back. Kiwi trying to make the kill. Josh runs in with a HVK. Here comes Fab pushing out the spawns. It is going to be traded away, and it looks like Kiwi and his friends do have control of this spawn in the farmhouse. Vortex finally makes an important kill there, and he gets a second one pushing through that hardware building. They're obviously going to spawn out now onto that granny hill. They've got to be careful about the pinch.
Yep, and Josh doing some work with that HVK, going 3-kill streak, make it 4, and he's going to get out that Hardpoint to keep his streak alive. That was a good play, however, Barca is going to drop him in the back, and now Benz attacking this hill. And Fab, look at Fab. They have the right spawns for the third hill, so now they can afford to do a push. They are 20 points down.
Vortex with 1 kill, jumps over towards the opposite side, gets taken down. Gun Elite with a massive 2-piece. Kiwi obviously following up with the next one. And they do have control of this, 15 seconds left. But here comes Splyce pushing down this train side, looking to get hold of the spawns if they can. Fab obviously just very aware of that. Barca does have that scythe in hand. He's got to make sure he gets these kills if Splyce do come out.
That's the right time to pick it.
Yep, Kiwi and Gunlink trying to hold them off as long as they can, but no, Bans pushes through. Here comes the pinch. Barca's taken down by Josh. An incredible shot there with the HVK. Kiwi sitting in the Hardpoint, racking up that time. Why things are going wrong all around him. Vortex gets 2 kills to open things up, and now it looks like Splyce are starting to push back and try and get hold of this granny hill as Splyce are starting to find themselves a little bit behind right now.
Yep, but they're going to be able to break into the hill. Vortex once again warming up. 5 kill streaks, going to be extremely close to unlocking those score streaks. And we're talking about the rough start of the game is at, well, it's all over now. Vortex is in the game and is going to look to change that score around.
Well, I will say the venue is a little bit chilly down here in London, but it's not going to stop Vortex for too long. He has started to warm up and he's getting ready to unleash on Fab as they start to take the lead once again as he's pushing through to this train. He spots Kiwi out. He does have the lightning strike. 25 points away from that Hellstorm. He does get it with the cap of the Hardpoint, looking for the Cerberus. He's got to be careful here, playing quite reckless. He could save up for that Cerberus. That could be a game changer. Gets 1 shot off, doesn't get the kill, and Kiwi ends that streak crucially. Hawkey has the Tempest in hand, locking out Fab as long as he possibly can as the contestment comes in from the train.
Yep, and Gunlead and Kiwi are going to be leading the charge for FABE, trying to make the plays happen into that 4 seal. Kiwi is going to find one, and they're going to be in control once again, but not for long, because that train side is so easy to contest. And that's what FABE needs to do now. They are 16 points down. They need to calm things down to make sure they get back into that first hill. And they can't let Splyce form a lead, because if Splyce are in the lead, I think they're going to be unstoppable.
Absolutely. I would say Kiwi maybe trying to do a little bit too much. He's trying to put the team on his back He needs support when he's going into the heels to try and break it. He gets a massive 2 kills, but there's no one to follow up on the trade that happens on him. Barca trying to pick someone off from the farmhouse isn't going to happen. And the hardpoint does switch to the middle. Barca trying to go on a covert mission to see if he can spot anyone out. He does get a kill on Vortex, looking to push this farmhouse. Does spot another one, gets another RK5 kill onto Bance. Kivy also picks up Josh with that grenade. It is pretty much neck and neck at this point. This game is so important for these two teams to get off to a great start here in this open.
And whether you're looking at the team score or the individual performances in the slaying department, it's really even. No one is going big, no one is going extremely negative. Looking at the FABE side, Kivy, however, doing some work, racking up a lot of hill time, but at the same time picking those kills. Once again, making the kills with the grenade as a smart play, because as we said, the Semtex Zao, the HXD has been banned as well, and no one is using Flak Jacket, and Kivy is taking advantage of that situation. Now with Barca trying to control those spawns, gonna get dropped in the back, but Kivy still 2-kill streak inside the hill. It's extremely close right now. FABE are 1 point in the lead, and that second hill, however, is going to be initially controlled by the Splyce lineup, looking to close this one down. But FABE won't go down without a fight. Kivy, once again, attacking this hill. Barca picking up 2 kills. Kivy is going to pick up one more. Only 1 player alive left for Splyce, and they don't have the right score so far. They're not in the lead, so be careful, Splyce. Be careful, because the German are here to win this game.
Kivy, 2 important kills there. They still have control of this hardpoint. These next 2 hills, Jonas, are almost going to seal the game off for whoever wants to take it. And it looks like the Germans are coming out full firing now. Vortex trying to go on a solo mission, does manage to break the hill, and they're going to get the last 20 seconds here and push themselves back into the lead. But it's about this granny hill. Can Hawkeye hold it down? No, Kivy takes him out. And it's up to Josh to do his best to hold this down on his own right now. Bance in the back silo, spots one man. Kivy takes him down with a VMP. Josh comes flying out. He knows he's weak. He's looking for the kills and to hold his spawn. He spots Kivy. Kivy running past him. He does catch him in the back. No, someone's in the tin. He gets a second kill. He's got to hold this down. He's looking to push into the hill. And he does get hold of it. However, Fab are still spawning at the back. Here comes the kinetic armor. Kivy gets the 2 kills. Bance pushing forward right now. This is neck and neck. I can't call it, Jonas. It's too tight to know who's going to be pushing forward and taking the lead.
And that was so well played out, Josh, staying alive, trying to make the things happen into the hardpoint. But FABE extremely solid now. The kills going in favor of Splyce. They're going to make that last kill happen and be in the control of the hill again. 10 points down. And you see Bence on that left side not going to be able to connect onto Kivy, and it's going to be only 1 player for FABE to make it happen on that third hill. Now, Splyce is going to be in the lead. By the end of that hill, they're going to be looking for maybe 25 points to end it. So it's all going to be about that train side. Who's going to be able to make that rotation? Who's going to be able to make those kills? Kivy, 43 kills so far. Can he make it happen for the FABE team?
FABE went for the early rotate. They cut their losses and moved for this next hill. But however, Splyce made the kills they needed to. Kivy coming up to that 50 bomb. It's going to be crucial. 2 minutes on the clock for him inside that hill as well. MVP performance for him, for Fab so far. But it looks like Splyce just have that lead. Kivy trying to go wild in the hill. No, Vortex takes him down. Barca following up. Hawkeye takes him down. Kivy with 2 kills of his own. This man in the hill is going to find a third. It's shut down by Vortex. This is a scrappy game of Call of Duty all of a sudden. It's about keeping the game as close as possible. And we see the clock is running down with this contestment right now. Splyce just need to hold this out and contest the hill for as long as possible. Here comes Gunnelly. He's taken down, and it looks like Splyce are going to hold this out. Hawkeye with a 3-piece to seal the game off. This is surely going to go in Splyce's favor.
It is.
And it's going to be too much for the spawns, and Hawkeye seals it out there. Splyce take game 1.
Well, okay, what a play in the end with that Tempest, picking up 6 kills at the row. And I gotta say, Gunnelly can be a hero sometimes, but I disagree with that play. Going around the back when all his team needed was some contest on that train hill. When you see that the Splyce player are hitting up, are picking up those kills in the train hill, if you're on the FABE side, you need to slow it down and to wait for that first hill again. Just play for the scrap points, and I think they've just been trying to go for the comeback onto that train side, which kind of was a mistake, but in the end, what a close game. Splyce closing it out, but he could have gone his way.
You see the look of disappointment on their faces right now.
45 and 37 with 2 minutes hill time for Kivy.
Incredible plays, but Josh also equaling the 2-minute time, 37 and 36. That's what you needed him to do. Splyce just held it, and it was about that Granny's Hill that was going to see it out, and they did manage to take control of it, and FAB just couldn't find their way in. They made the right play of going for the earlier rotate, but they couldn't hold it down. They knew the clock was against them, and that if they just contested that entire time, they would have been finding themselves going into another hill in the middle of the map, which is very hotly contested. You're not going to get a lot of time off that with the clock just running down, and that's not what you want in that situation. You needed to get hold of it as much as you could. That's why that Granny's Hill was so important. It was an opportunity for FAB to take the game and run with it, and they unfortunately lost out on it.
Yep, and now it's going to be extremely hard to come back into that game knowing that you were so close of winning that first map. Now Splyce, they've made that mistake of maybe underestimating FABE once. They've led them into the lead. Now I think on this map, they're just going to heat up and close it down. I'm going to be looking at Bent. We've seen Vortex also struggle at the beginning of the map, then picking it back up. And for those of you watching at home, FABE gear Kiwi 94 is Torres, in case we haven't said it, and Kiwi K1V1 is the